Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your man, Nick Driver. If you guys are watching this video, please like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. If you're watching this on YouTube, today we're talking about the Music Modernization Act brought to the House by Bob Goodlatte of Virginia and later signed into law on October 11, 2018 by President Donald Trump. Let's get into it. So to let you guys know who's who here, Robert William Goodlatte is an American politician, attorney, lobbyist who served in the United States House of Representatives, representing Virginia's 6th congressional district for 13 terms, a Republican. He was also the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. So just to let you guys know, the Music Modernization Act was brought before the House by this gentleman, Robert Goodlatte of Virginia. And then on October 11, 2018, it was signed into law by President Donald Trump at the time. So the Music Modernization Act basically took and held companies liable for paying artists over streaming platforms such as Spotify. I had some money generated towards me that I couldn't get by myself from SiriusXM Radio partially because SiriusXM Radio had the streaming platform side of the radio as well as the radio part of it. So the radio part of it for me was SiriusXM. I was able to get my royalties and generate that income, but I couldn't get the money from the streaming side of it. So when this bill passed and was signed into law, I was able to get roughly $3,000 to $4,000 of my royalty money that I normally wouldn't have been able to get had this bill not been signed into law. So let's get into what exactly is the Music Modernization Act. So we're going to pull today from Wikipedia. This is the closest one that I found that kind of summarizes it up. It's not too crazy. It is a little lengthy. So if you guys got a little time, check it out. Musicians, anybody that's curious about this. So this is Title I, Number 1. It would set up a nonprofit governing agency that would create a database related to the owners of the mechanical license of the musical works, the copyright that covers the music and lyrics of a musical composition. The actual performance and recording is typically held under a different license. This musical works database would be completed with the help of the major music publishers. The new agency would establish blanket royalty rates that would be used to pay the composers and lyricists when used by streaming services using this database, eliminating the difficulty previously faced by streaming services to properly identify the mechanical license holder. These royalties would be paid to the nonprofit agency as a compulsory license, not requiring the mechanical license holder's permission. The agency would then be responsible for distributing royalties. Streaming services would still be able to negotiate other royalty rates directly with the mechanical license holder if they choose so. Number 2, it ensures that the composers and lyricists are paid a portion of the mechanical license royalties for either physical or digital reproduction of musical compositions at a rate set by the contract. Number 3, it revamps the rate court process when disagreements over royalty rates arise. Previously, a single judge in the United States District for the Southern District of New York was assigned to handle all cases. The bill would assign a random judge in this court to oversee these cases. The Fair Play, Fair Pay Act had designed to harmonize how royalties were paid by terrestrial radio broadcasters and internet streaming services. Under previous law, songwriters and composers would receive mechanical license royalties for radio play, but the performing artists would not be paid as the use of the songs on the radio was considered, quote, promotional. The Fair Play, Fair Pay Act had included language that would allow recording artists to receive performance royalties. However, these parts of the Fair Play, Fair Pay Act were not included in the combined Music Modernization Act. So there's a lot of terms on here some people might have questions about. I'll drop a video here shortly to talk about compulsory license versus mechanical license if you guys want me to dive that deep into it. If not, we'll just keep rolling, and I'll explain to you how this works as far as streaming services. Title II of the Music Modernization Act, Classics Act. The Compensating Legacy Artists for Their Song, Service, and Important Contributions to Society Act was originally introduced in the House on July 2017. In U.S. copyright law, sound recordings made prior to February 5th, 1972 were not covered under the federal copyright law, leaving them up to the individual states to pass laws for recording protection. This had created a complex series of laws that made it difficult for copyright enforcement and royalty payments. The Classics Act established that sound recordings before 1972 are covered by copyright law until February 15, 2067, with the additional language to grandfather older recordings into the public domain at an earlier time. Recordings prior to 1923 entered into a public domain 3 years from passage on July 2022, as all copyright terms end on December 31st, with recordings between 1923 and 1956 being phased into public domain over the next few decades. Title III, Allocation of Music Producers Act. The Allocation for Music Producers Act, AMP, was introduced by Representative Crowley on February 6, 2017. The bill designates that Sound Exchange, the nonprofit organization established by Congress to distribute royalties or sound recordings, will also distribute part of these royalties to, quote, a producer, mixer, or sound engineer who was part of the creative process that created the sound recording. So, guys, that's the legal lingo regarding the Music Modernization Act that was passed in 2018. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. As far as me, my experience, like I mentioned earlier, SiriusXM had picked up one of my songs at the time, Let's Stay Together. You guys go check out Let's Stay Together. Shameless self-promotion right here. You guys go check out Let's Stay Together by Nick Driver, man. It's a great song, in my opinion. But anyways, one way that I benefited from this was I was able to collect royalties from SiriusXM as well as Spotify, any streaming services at the time that particularly didn't want to pay artists. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what topics you guys would like me to talk about. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Y'all take care. Have a great day.